Hello everyone, welcome back to AptiChamp. This is part 3 of our SQL interview question series. Before watching this video, make sure you have watched part and part 2 of this video lecture series. The link will be provided in the description box. Let's start with our first question. Explain where clause. Where clause is used to filter the records as per given condition to retrieve the required records. It verifies the condition by returning true or false. It executes after the execution of from clause. It executes row by row, and we can pass one or more record filter conditions in where clause using logical operators. You can also explain the mentioned example. Second question, explain group by clause. Group by is used to group records with respect to a column or an expression. We can pass one or more column or expression as an argument to group by clause. It executes row by row. Groups are formed as a result of execution of group by clause. Any clause which executes after group by clause must execute group by group. We can use group by with or without using where clause. You can explain the given example. The next question is explain having clause. Having clause is used to filter the groups. We can pass one or more group filter conditions as an argument. It executes after the execution of group by clause in the query execution order. Having clause executes group by group. It applies condition of aggregate function like sum, count, average, max, mean, and many more. You can explain the below given example if needed. The next question, and a very important question, is difference between where and having clause. This question is frequently asked in many interviews. Let's look at the difference. The first difference is where clause is used to filter the records or rows, while having clause is used to filter the groups. Where clause executes before the execution of group by clause, while having clause executes after the execution of group by clause. Where clause executes row by row, having clause executes group by group. Where clause cannot use aggregate functions directly, while having clause is designed to work with aggregate functions. The next question is explain order by clause. Order by clause is used to sort the result based on one or more columns. Default sorting is ascending order denoted as AAC. You can explicitly specify ascending or descending order. We can sort by column name, column position, or alias used in the select clause. Multiple columns can be used to define custom sorting priorities. Order by clause is the last clause to be executed in the SQL query. You can mention the example if needed. Next, an important interview question is what is a subquery? It is a query inside another query. If we look at its execution, the inner query executes first and generates an output. The output of inner query is given as an input to the outer query. The outer query completes the final execution and returns the final result. This means that outer query is dependent on the inner query. Now there can be question like why and when do we use this subquery. So there are two such cases. The first one is whenever there is an unknown present in the question, we use subquery to find that unknown. For example, this is an employee table with two columns, employee name and salary. And the question says find the name of employees whose salary is greater than Smith's salary. So we can write the query as select ename from employee where salary is greater than select sal from employee where ename is equal to Smith. And if we try to understand this question, in this question the Smith salary is unknown to us It's not mentioned in the question. So the subquery selects Sal from employee where ename is equal to Smith. It returns the unknown value of Smith's salary. The outer query uses this result to filter out the employee whose salary is greater than Smith's salary. The second case is where we use a subquery is when the data we want to select is in one table, but the condition depends on the data in another table. Let's look at an example. There are two tables. First is employee table with two columns, employee name, e-name, and department number, while the second table has the department names and the department numbers. And the question states find the name of employee who work in the same department as Smith. So we can write the query as select ename from employee where department number is equal to select department number from employee where ename is equal to Smith. So in this scenario, the name we want to select are from the employee tables. But to know the department of Smith, we need to look in the department table. We don't know Smith's department. So here the subquery select department name from employee where ename is equal to Smith. It fetches the department number of Smith and finds out the department name of the Smith, and we can then use this in the main query to find the matching employees. The next interview question is explain correlated subquery. A query inside another query such that both outer and inner query are interdependent to return the result is known as correlated subquery. The execution method involves first the outer query executes partially. The partial output of the outer query will be given as an input to the inner query. The inner query executes and returns the output. This output of inner query is now given as an input to the outer query. The outer query executes once again and generates the final result. Looking at the execution, we can declare that both inner and outer query are interdependent on each other. Next question is what is row number? Row number assigns a unique sequential number to each row based on the specified order. Even if two rows have the same values, they get different row numbers. Now look at this example. There is an employee table with two columns, ename and sal, and we have 4 records in it. Now the query states select ename, sal, row number over order by sal DESC as row num from employee. Now the row number is applied on the salary column, which is ordered in the descending order. Now if we look at its output, we get the salary, the table is arranged based on the salary in the decreasing order. Now we see that two records have same salary of 5,000. Despite this, each of the record is getting a unique row number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. The next question is what is rank? Rank gives the same rank to duplicate values but skips the next ranks accordingly. Look at the example of employee table with two columns, ename and salary. The query is select ename, sal, rank over order by sal DSC as rank from employee. Now the rank function is being applied on the salary column, which is ordered in descending order. Now if we look at the result of this query, you can observe that the salary column has two same records of 5,000 salary, and the rank for both the record is same, which is 1, and for the next record it is skipping one rank, which means it is skipping the rank number of 2, and the next record directly has the value as 3. This is the last question for today. What is dense rank? Dense rank also gives the same rank for ties but does not skip the next number. Now, if you look at the example of employee table with two columns, e-name and salary, the query written is select e-name, sal, dense rank over order by sal DSC as dense rank from employee. Now, if you look at the output, it is quite similar to the previous rank, but again here we have two records with similar salary of 5000 and both are having a dense rank of 1. But as in the previous, it was skipping the rank for the next record. Here it does not skip the rank. For the record of 4500 salary, the dense rank is 2, which does not skip a rank. That's it for part 3 of our SQL interview question series. We have covered many questions which include subqueries, correlated subqueries, and some pseudo column. In next part, which is part 4, we will be taking a step further to discuss join based questions, and we will be discussing some more frequently asked SQL interview question. So stay tuned, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the notification when part 4 drops. Thank you for watching.